You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're now going to be talking all about people doing extra work, or what some people are calling a side hustle. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. If you could just introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about yourself to start us off.
Absolutely. My name is Chris Guillebeau. I'm the writer and traveler entrepreneur. I'm the author of the new book, Side Hustle, which is all about how to build a side business and make extra money without quitting your day job. And that book is just out this week in the UK. I'm on a 100-city tour going all over the world, and very happy to be here today talking with your listeners.
So tell us a bit more about what some of that research has found about side hustles in our area.
Indeed. Well, side hustles are happening all over the world. Increasingly, people are realizing that they don't want to depend on one employer. They want to create more than one source of income for themselves. They want to do that without working too much, of course, because everyone's busy. So I believe in the UK in general, there's something like 13 million people who are starting a side hustle. Maybe in your local area, in fact, something like 16,000 people are doing this. So if you're thinking about doing this, you're not alone.
So what are some of the benefits in fitting extra work around your main career?
Yeah, well, first of all, let's say extra money is good if you need to pay off some debt or just to have something else extra for yourself. But I think it goes beyond that as well. It's about creating options for your life. It's about creating more choice and freedom, being able to do what you want, build security for yourself and your family and your future. And if you can do that without necessarily taking on an additional job, if you can do that by creating something that earns money for you, then I think that's wonderful.
Now, people often think of gig work as sort of extra work and side hustles, but what are the differences between those?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. I'm not encouraging people to go out and participate in the gig economy necessarily. Like, there's some benefits to that, of course, as well. But when you start a side hustle, you're actually building something for yourself, and I think that's the main distinction. So you're not starting a startup, you're not trying to build a big company, but you're also not on somebody else's platform or somebody else's system. So you're actually creating a product or a service based on something that you already know how to do. So again, you're not going out to learn new skills necessarily. You're taking the skills that you have. And then your income is not capped. You're not playing by somebody else's rules. You're able to have more creativity and do this on your own. So I think there's a big distinction there.
Now, I'd imagine some people feel sort of scared or worried about admitting they have extra work or, what we're calling the side hustle to their employers.
I don't think they have to be worried about that. I don't think that employers have to feel threatened about that as well. I feel like increasingly there's an emphasis on work-life balance, on being a whole person, and you can be a good employee, you can be productive and loyal, and also kind of reserve something for yourself. I think, your employer doesn't own you, so, what can you do to be a good employee and serve that company or organization, but also look out for yourself and your future? I think that's okay.
Well, I'd imagine as long as it's not affecting that main job, really, it's not an issue.
Sure, of course.
Was there anything else you'd like to sort of cover or get over to our listeners, especially if they might be interested in doing extra work? Do you have any tips as well?
I do, indeed. Well, I would encourage them, first of all, to understand how empowering this can be. And this is something that they can do where they are. So I'm not encouraging people to take a lot of risk. I'm not telling them to borrow money or even invest a lot of money. I've created this process that is a 5-week process, a method in which every day for 27 days you have one step. And in the book you'll learn, okay, day 1, do this, day 2, do that. So you're focusing on what's essential. And I'm essentially teaching people where good ideas come from. Like, where do you learn where a viable side hustle idea comes from? How do you develop that idea? How do you then put it out into the world, probably before it's perfect or ready, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. But you're going to do that and then see what happens and adjust from there. So this is something new and different, and I want it to be accessible and simple for people.
So where can our listeners find out more info?
Great. Well, the new book, Side Hustle, is out this week in the UK. You can find it in the shops or on Amazon or other online retailers. Or you can just come to sidehustleschool.com. That's my website, and I have a daily podcast where every day I'm telling a story of someone who creates a side hustle without quitting their day job. I talk about where they got the idea, what happens along the way, and what the outcome was.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to us here at BRFM Bridge Radio on the Daniel Monday Night Community Show.
Cheers. Thank you so much.